Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to say, holy cow, I cannot even believe how many people have subscribed to my channel recently, my little tiny channel here. I really appreciate it and I'm glad to have everyone here. I am sharing with you today the decks that I want to work with, or I plan to work with, or I'm interested in working with in 2025. And by the way, Happy New Year. This video is going up on the 1st. I hope you had a wonderful and safe night celebrating. It's actually a really nice day outside for the Northeast here, so I have my window open. There seems to be a lot of traffic right now, of course, while I'm trying to film, and my daughter and my partner are still off of work and school, so just so you know, life noise happening, not really much I can do about it. I'm still in my comfy pajamas here. I just thought I'd be cozy and show you the decks that I want to work with this year, and I'm excited to dig into. And we're gonna start off with a really big one, kind of like a banger, I guess, if I had to term it any. And we're going to jump in with the Burning Tiger Tarot. This is pretty new to my collection. I bought it for myself for Christmas and it arrived after Christmas, but that's okay. I knew that the shipping, not that it would be a challenge, just that I would have to wait ever so patiently for this deck. I just finished going through the Major Arcana, flipping through it. I haven't even flipped through the whole deck. Of course, I've seen this deck everywhere on YouTube. It's so stunning on camera that I just knew it was a deck I had to have in my collection. It is kind of more of an investment, but not anything that I'm shy of doing. The box says, I believe, like a soul collage, and I really feel that in this deck, that heart and soul was put into it. It's such a unique perspective. I love the collage work. I think it was so thoughtfully and brilliantly done. I don't know, it just feels like these pieces could be in an art gallery. It really does. The cardstock is very luxurious. It's very flexible, very matte. So even though there are some extra cards in here, which I think I'm going to be leaving all of the extra cards in here, I had a hard time flipping through the Major Arcana and deciding which ones I would keep and which ones I would take out. So I'm just going to leave all of them in there for right now. That just feels right and conducive to the deck and how we want to work with one another. I think, yeah, even though the cardstock is a little thicker and it's matte, it still has some good movement. It is very flexible, so riffle shuffling won't be a problem at all. And of course, the backs, so beautiful. I would put this in a list of top 5 most stunning and favorite backs that I own. The next deck I want to spend some time with this year is Tarot of the Animal Lords. I recently got this in 2024 towards the end of the year. I believe it was in November, and I haven't really spent too much time with it, but this is one that I really feel like you kind of got to take your time with. It feels like it's asking me to do that. I think it would be a great one to work with kind of right now in the winter season where we have that more introspective lens, but I do think that it would transition well in the spring as well. It's an animal deck. It is currently out of print, but it is printed by Lo Scarabeo. I'm noticing that I've seen quite a few butterflies here, which is obviously the symbol for swords, so that's really cool. Something that I haven't noticed quite yet, so I'm sure the other suits have something similar, but I kind of like that nod here to, that's the cup symbol. Yeah, just ready to tap into the wisdom that's here because it just feels very wise to me, and that's without me working with it yet. I've flipped through it a number of times. I might have pulled a card or two, but I really haven't dedicated much time to it. And here is the card that made me want this deck. My rhino. Love rhinos. The next one I have is Tarot de Caratides, and I've heard that this one is you kind of love it or hate it kind of a thing. It's one that I had on my wish list for a very long time. It's a Fournier deck. You can still find it. It's still available, but I think the artwork is very unique and a little bit on the quirky side, and I really like that attribute about it. It feels like it's fun and full of whimsy, almost like Alice in Wonderland without being Alice in Wonderland, if that makes any sense. This one I'm going to be using without its guidebook. That just feels how it's calling me, I guess, to work with it, or kind of what I feel like I want to do. I don't know, I just feel like this one is a lot of fun, but it's kind of introverted fun. I don't know how to explain that really, because there's lots of colors and quirkiness and bolder figures here, but I still feel like it's a very introverted, introspective kind of deck. Similar to how I feel with Stella's Tarot, and how Stella's Tarot is what I would say represents my personality the best. I resonate with it because it feels quiet and calm and very introspective and thoughtful. And I feel like this deck is similar to that, but kind of the more mixture of outgoing, introverted mix. Because sometimes that is me as well. Like, I love being around people, I love chatting and talking and connecting with others, but I also like the time to myself, to recharge and to, I don't know, just be with myself. Do like my alone time. And I think this deck is like representative of both of those sides of me. So that's what's really drawing me to work with it this year. The next deck is Zekes Arcana, and it is one that I acquired in 2024 and another one that I haven't been able to dedicate the most time. I think out of all of the ones that I'm sharing today, this has probably gotten the most time with me, but I need more time. So that's why it is on this list. This figure is playing kind of an instrument that looks like a French horn a little bit, and I played the French horn in school, so I really like that. French horns they aren't the most powerful or like loudest instruments, so a lot of the times I would sit next to the saxophone section, and there was just me and another girl playing French horns, so I felt like most of the time our part was kind of covered by the saxophones. If you really take a listen to cinematic music or music in movies, a lot of the times you'll hear a French horn. So anyway, that was a little tangent there, but about the deck, it's bold, it's bright, it's got a unique viewpoint, and I just want to tap into that a little more. I want to have a little bit more fun this year, like in general, but also in my practice. I think sometimes that can be, it sounds so silly, but sorry, I had to attend and help my daughter with something. But I think I was saying something along the lines of, I just want to have some fun this year. I think it was a really hard year last year in many ways, and I wasn't always present for the joyful moments, or even in trying to create as many joyful moments to help through those hard times. So I think that this deck has the perspective to help bring some joy into my life. I definitely feel like it's also going to be one that doesn't mince the truth, but it's going to deliver it in a way that's really fun and out there, so why not? We'll give it a try and see where it goes. The next deck is the Two Bugs Tarot, which is very, very new to my collection. It snuck right in there, I think either just before Christmas time or just after. It was a Kickstarter created by two best friends. One wrote the guidebook and one illustrated the deck, and it is a little bit more of a minimal style. I think it has a lot of fun and a lot of quirk, again tying into that fun piece I'm trying to have. Sometimes it feels like a comic or a cartoon a little bit, because it'll have like thought bubbles here or speak bubbles that add more context to some of the cards. And of course, now that I am showing you, I can't find any of the cards that really feature that. Oh, there's another one. Knight of Cups. Ooh la la. I don't know. It's fun. It's quirky. It's got a lot of personality to it, and I think it'll just lighten some readings, even ones that are heavier. I don't know. I don't think there's any reason always to match doom with gloom, right? I think it's fun to mix it up, do a serious reading with a deck that may be a little bit more quirky. I think it doesn't take away from the meanings or the reading that you have. I think that it just reminds you that life is a full spectrum of emotions and thoughts and feelings and situations. So this is the Two Bugs Tarot. So on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, I would say, is Estrella's Dream. This was a new acquisition as well. I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure as I looked at the pile there, all of them are newer to my collection in the past year. So it kind of makes sense as to why I would want to spend a little bit more concerted and intentional time with them, because I've had less of it and they're new. But Estrella's Dream might have the color, it might have the, I don't know, I guess the color is the pop of fun here, but the feeling and the atmosphere is completely different. It's very astral in a way, and I've had some really, really deep readings with it so far in the times that I have used it, but I want to take a little bit more time with it. than just working with it here and there. This could be a really powerful tool in my collection. I did a reading a while ago where the King of Swords showed up, and I wrote about what the meaning was for me on my Instagram. That's really where I featured it. If you're not following me there, it's simply Han_tarot. In between the stuff I do on YouTube and the videos, you can follow me there, see what I'm up to. But I shared a really profound experience I had with the King of Swords and the message that was carried for me in that instance on that day for that topic. It's been a really solid companion for me, and I'm really happy that this came into my collection, and I just really look forward to deepening that connection with it this year. And somehow we're already at the last deck here on my list. This is by no means a complete list. This is just what's calling out to me right in this moment on this day, but also that I've kind of been thinking about. I want to spend a little bit more time with these decks. That's not to say I will only be using these decks in 2025, but these are ones that I want to make a definite effort toward. And this is the Napo Tarot. It's really beautiful. I adore the art style. I love that on the minors they come with keywords up here. I really like that. I haven't actually really got on well with a deck that has, or at least a tarot deck that has keywords. I have the Guild Tarot, and I used to have, I think it's the Wandering Star, which has some phrases and keywords kind of built into the artwork a little bit. I used to have that one, and it's not that I didn't appreciate the keywords. I think at the time, I don't even know why. I guess I would have to think about it a little bit more if I'm being completely honest with you. It just wasn't meshing well with me and where I was at the time, even though I was a beginner, and it would make sense, but I guess I'm kind of built a little backwards. Kind of story of my life a little bit. But I think that I saw this deck featured on a channel a while ago. I can't even remember what channel, and I think they were doing a flip through of it, and I saw the keywords and how much that they were resonating with me. And I don't think me from years ago would have been able to appreciate the fullness of the meaning behind that keyword if I didn't have, a little bit more knowledge about the tarot now. I think it hits a little bit differently, and that's what I'm able to appreciate about, or hopefully appreciate about, the keywords now. I think it's such a sweet deck. I really do love the artwork. It just feels like it's full of life. I've been struggling a lot. The last quarter in particular of 2024 was very hard on me emotionally. That has really taken a toll on my mental health. And this deck feels like the star moment when you finally kind of break away. It feels very full of life when I was feeling quite lifeless in a way, just sad, depressed, stressed, and I really want to embrace the vibes and the feelings that I get from this deck, and I don't think I was in the correct mind space to be able to do that last year, which is why it got set aside. But at the same time, I think sometimes we don't always know what we need right away, and whether or not I am feeling or facing difficult situations this year, because they're never going to go away, let's be honest, we'll always have challenges, I want to still embrace this deck and bring it into my life and not say, oh, it's only meant for happy moments, because that's not true, right? I think it would be beautiful to use regardless, and so that is my goal with this deck this year. And that's all the decks that I really want to take time to work with this year. I almost was going to apologize for getting really deep and almost a little emotional there at the end with the Napo Tarot, but I don't think I should apologize. I don't think I need to apologize, because I'm being truthful and honest and sharing my experience as it is and not hindering that or covering any of that. Like I said, the last quarter of 2024 was really difficult, and I'm so thankful that I have this community here, because all of you have really kept my spirits up as high as they can possibly have been. The connections and the friendships that I've made really mean a lot to me, even though we might only comment here and there. I'm really hoping that you guys feel welcome here in this safe space, and I can't wait to see how 2025 unfolds for all of us. So until next time, have a very happy new year, and I'll see you around.